In this video, we're going to walk through how to set up your gradebook categories in Schoology and sync those to your PowerTeacher gradebook. So the first thing you want to do in Schoology is click on Courses and then select one of your courses. Once you're in a course, in this left-hand column, we're going to click on Grade Setup. Under the Categories section, this is where we're going to add in our formative, summative, and then if you're high school, your final exam categories. So we're going to click Add, Formative, and you'll see that it pops up under that Categories heading. We'll click it again to add our summative. And then high school teachers, you can add your final exam category here too if you're planning on giving your final exam on Schoology. Then we want to copy these settings to all of our classes within Schoology. So I'm just clicking the little check marks next to each course. Click Copy, and then scroll to the bottom and save those changes. Now that we have our gradebook set up in Schoology, we want to sync this over to PowerSchool. So still within that same Schoology course, we're going to click on the PowerSchool app. Then we're going to click on Configuration right here. And then you'll see a list of any of your previous PowerSchool categories. So these are all the categories that I've used in the past, but we're only concerned this year with the formative minor and the summative major. And then high school teachers, you can use the exam category as well. So we're going to, from this drop-down list, select summative. And so this maps our summative category in Schoology to the summative category in PowerSchool. And then we want to do the same thing with the formative category in PowerSchool. We want to map that to the formative category in Schoology. We're going to save those changes. Next thing we want to do now that those are all set up is just to do a test assignment to see if everything works. So I'm going to go back to my gradebook. And I'm going to just create an assignment with this plus button. And I'll just call it test. One thing you want to make sure that you're doing when you're creating an assignment in Schoology is that you give it a due date. If you don't give it a due date, PowerSchool won't know what quarter to put it under, and so you won't see it when you click sync. So assign a due date within the quarter. Choose if you want it to be a formative or summative. And then we'll create that assignment. Now that the assignment is created in my Schoology gradebook, I'm going to just put in some test grades. And then I'm going to click this sync button in the right corner. That syncs the grades from Schoology to PowerTeacher. And you can check the status of your sync by clicking on the clipboard icon to view your status log. And you'll see that under status, it says successful. So that means that it should have synced my grades from Schoology to PowerTeacher. If you ever do any sort of edits to your grades or if students turn in grades late, you can always come back to this section and you can sync any changes that you might have made to any of your students' grades. So we'll click Done. Then I'm going to go over here to my PowerTeacher gradebook, click in that class. And now under my grading, you see that test assignment that I just created and those 4 test grades that I put in. And that's how you sync your Schoology gradebook to your PowerTeacher gradebook. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or if you have any issues when you're setting this up.